Let's get right to it, dog. You know it's raw. Well, let me catch you if you're showing off. They wanted to get you, I hold it off. Thought he was solid, but told it off. Running the field with the underdogs. Don't wanna get involved. I can admit it, I know what it's time and I'm tripping, I got every group. Niggas will fumble a bag. I get to the cash fast, gotta salute. I've been a hustler, look how I'm coming up. You running your mouth, better run it up. I'm running this shit like a big dog. Living my movie, they pissed off. Pushing the law cause we in charge. They gon' play this in the synagogues. How do I feel? I'm feeling great. Bigger the problem, the bigger the plate. Making my move, that shit gotta wait. Ahead of my time, keep it in line. Put on their face, I just learned to keep it all to myself. Wait, a couple of niggas that hang with me that'll bang for me. If I'm doing bad, never change on me.
We the salt of the earth. We the motherfucking underdogs. We underestimated. You understand what I'm saying?
I got tunnel vision. There's a bunch of ways I'm gonna get it. It's my way or the highway if you ain't fucking with it. Do what I say or go about your fucking business and take this money with you. I ain't dealing with no fucking children if they not my own. Going by myself, I'ma die alone. These bitches catch my wave and more just hopping on. They hear what I make, it starts to turn them on. I think it's sorcery, the way they ride the bone. The black magic stick, they stopping by my home when I'm not even home. I'd rather be alone, so I can conquer shit, and I can see it wrong. I just keep popping shit, cause I won't be here long. I'm hopping on the road, and get my diesel blown. She wanna drop it low, and get her eagle on. My new bitch bad as fuck, she look like me alone. I came up from the dirt, was born right under y'all. And just like out of wine, said I just want the ball. These niggas seasonal, I watch them leave and fall. The last one.
Shalom, Yahweh Shem Shabrak Fam, Yahweh Shemal Fam Bashan El Shad, Priest and Officer 1000 Zabadja of the I.S.U.P.K under Commanding General YAHANNA. This is the closing of the Feast of First Fruits. La Yashar'Allah, which means to Israel. Men of Israel, Akwafi and watching, sisters watching, we're going to stand and turn and face the east. Sarb Hapulam, Salakia. We're going to stand and turn and face the east. We're going to start with the prayers, the opening prayers. So first we're going to start with the Lord's Prayer. This is Matthew 6, verses 8 to 13. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayam, Kodash, Hayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Thaba'ah, Ratazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Barataza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayam, Lathunlanawa, Lakam, Ka, Yawan, Wasalak Nawa, Kabwath Nawa, Kasalak Nawa, Kabwath Yanawa, Wala'ah, Thabaya Nawa, Bonasai Wan, Abal, Hawashai Nawa, Mayan, Brad, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'Allah, Wahathaparath, La'aiwalamyam, Aman. What we read in Hebrew, we're going to now say in the English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever so be it. We're going to read Hakak, the prayer for power. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'asham.
Ba'asham.
Yahushai.
Yahushai.
Babakushah.
Bokosha.
Thalanawa.
Nathanawa.
Hakak.
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 Larapa'ah.
Larapa'ah.
Kalmakala.
Kalmakala.
Wakalmadawa.
Palmadawa.
Hakak.
Hakak.
Latahar.
Latahar.
Hamatazarayim.
Hamatazarayim.
Hakak.
Hakak.
Lahakwayam.
Lahakwayam.
Hamathayam.
Hamathyam.
Hakak.
Hakak.
Arakawath.
Arakawath.
Hatama'ala.
Hatama'ala.
Garashan.
Nagarashan.
Ba'asham.
Ba'asham.
Yahushai.
Yahushai.
Tawada Aman.
Wada Aman.
Babakushah. Barak, can you read the English?
Karawakan. The prayer for power, Hakak in English. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai.
Lord, in the name of Yahushai,
Please give us the power.
please give us the power
To heal.
to heal
All manner of sickness.
all manner of sickness
And all manner of disease.
and all manner of disease,
The power to cleanse the lepers.
the power to cleanse the lepers,
The power to raise the dead.
the power to raise the dead,
The power against unclean spirits.
the power against unclean spirits,
To cast them out.
to cast them out.
In the name of Yahushai.
In the name of Yahushai,
Thank you.
thank you.
So be it.
So be it. Bless Israel. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'asham.
Ba'asham.
Yahushai.
Yahushai.
Barak Salakia. Barak Lanawa.
Barak Lanawa.
Wayasha'ala.
Wayasharala.
Wahabayat.
Wahabayat.
Pariam.
Apariam.
Ba'asham.
Ba'asham.
Yahushai.
Yahushai.
Wada Aman.
Wada Aman. In English. Lord, in the name of Yahushai.
Lord, in the name of Yahushai,
Bless us.
bless us
And Israel.
and Israel
And the school.
and the school.
In the name of Yahushai.
In the name of Yahushai,
Thank you, so be it.
thank you, so be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah.
Asha'ah.
Yanya.
Anyanya.
Ahahariam.
Al-Hahariam.
Mayan.
Ma'ayan.
Yaba'ah.
Yaba'ah.
Isariah. Isariah.
Isariah.
Ma'an.
Ma'ayin.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ashah.
Yashah.
Shamayam.
Mayam.
Waratazah.
Warataza.
Al-Yanathan.
Al-Yathan.
Lamawat.
Namawat.
Wagalka.
Ragalka.
Al-Yanawam.
Al-Yanawam.
Shamarka.
Marka.
Hana.
Hana.
La'ah.
La'a.
Yanawam.
Yanawam.
Wala'ah.
La'a.
Yayashan.
Yashan.
Walmar.
Omar.
Yasha'ala.
Yasharala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shamarka.
Marka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Tazalka.
Zalka.
Al-Yad.
Al-Yad.
Yamyanka.
Yamyanka.
Yawamam.
Yomam.
Hashamash.
Yashamash.
La'ah.
La'a.
Yakaka.
Yakaka.
Wayarak.
Wayarak.
Balayala.
Malayala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamarka.
Yashamarka.
Kalrai.
Palrai.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Ashnapashka.
Atnapashka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Tazaafka.
Zaavka.
Wabawaaka.
Ubawaka.
Ma'aitha.
Ma'aitha.
Wa'aid Iwalam.
Wa'aid I Walam. Psalm 121 in English. I will lift up my eyes unto the hills.
I will lift up my eyes unto the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from Yahweh,
My help cometh from the Lord,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee
He that keepeth thee
will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel
he that keepeth Israel
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming
and thy coming in.
From this time forth,
From this time forward,
even forever, and even forevermore.
even forevermore. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim,
Lahayim,
Al-Damayah,
Al-Damayah,
Laka,
Ka,
Al-Thakarash,
Al-Takarash,
wa Al-Thashakwat,
Wal-Tashakwat,
Al,
Al,
Yahanna,
YAHANNA,
wa Y-A-P.K,
Y-A.P.K,
Yahama Yawan,
Lama Yawan,
wa Mashanayaka,
Umashanayaka,
Naashawa,
Nashawa,
Ra'ash,
Ra'ash,
A'amaka,
Alamaka,
Ya'ira Yamwa,
Ya'ira Yamwa,
Sawad,
Wad,
wa Ya,
Waya,
Thaya Itazawa,
Tayai Tizawa,
Altazapawan,
Altazapawan,
Yaka,
Yaka,
Amarwa,
Marwa,
Yakawa,
Akawa,
Wanakak Yadam,
Wanakakidam,
Magaya,
Magaya,
Wala'a,
Wala'a,
Yazakar,
Yazakar,
Sham Yasha'ala,
Sham Yasharala,
Iwad,
Mewad,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Nawatazai, Salaki, Nawa Itazawa,
Nawai Tizawa,
Lab,
La,
Yakadwa,
Yakadwa,
Al Yakad,
Al Yakad,
Baryath,
Baryat,
Yakarathwa,
Yakarathwa,
Ahalia,
Ahalia,
Adawam,
Adawam,
Wayashamai Alayam,
Yashamai Alayam,
Waba'aba,
Mawaba,
Wahagariam,
Wahagariam,
Gabal,
Gabal,
Wa'amawan,
Waimawan,
Wa'amalak,
Waimalak,
Palashath,
Lashat,
I'm Yashabia,
and Yashabia,
Tazawar,
Lawar,
Gam Ashawar,
Mashawar,
Lanawa,
Nanawa,
Imam,
Imam,
Haywa,
Ayawa,
Zarawai,
Rawai,
Labanya Lawai,
Labanya Lawat,
Salah,
Salah,
Aisha,
Isha,
Laham,
Laham,
Kamadian,
Kamadian,
Kasa Yasara,
Kasa Yasaraha,
Kayabyan,
Ayabian,
Wanakal,
Manakab,
Koyashwan,
Yashwan,
Nashamadwa,
so like Nashamadwa,
Bayan,
Bayan,
Dara,
Lara,
Hayawa,
Ayawa,
Daman,
Daman,
La'adama,
Ladama,
Shayathamwa,
Shatamwa,
Nada Yabmawa,
and Yamawa,
Kairab,
Kairab,
Waka Azaba,
Wakazaba,
Waka Zabak,
Wakazabak,
Waka Taza Manai,
Wakatazalmanai,
Ka,
Kal,
Nasa Yakam, Wa,
Sayakam,
Ashar,
Ashar,
Amarwa,
Marwa,
Nayarasha,
Nayarasha,
Lanawa,
Nanawa,
Ath,
At,
Naathwa,
Nawat,
Alahayam,
Ahayam,
Alahaya,
Ahaya,
Shayathamwa,
Shatamwa,
Kagaga,
Nagadala,
Kukwash,
Kakwash,
Lapanya Raka,
Lapanya Raka,
Kaash,
Kaash,
Taba Ira Yaira,
Ira Yaira,
Waka Haba,
Wakala Haba,
Thalahat,
Malahat,
Hariam,
Haryam,
Khan,
Khan,
Tharadatma,
Varadatma,
Basai Irakawa,
Sairaka,
Waba,
Waba,
Sawapathka,
Sawapavka,
Thabahalam,
Bahalam,
Ma'ala,
Mala'a,
Panyaham,
Yaham,
Kwalawan,
Palawan,
Wayabukwashwa,
Wayabakwashwa,
Shamka, Yahawa,
Yahawa,
Yabashwa,
Nabashwa,
Waya Bahawa Yakwa.
Waya Ba'alwa.
Ayai.
Ay.
Waya Kaparwa.
Waya Kaparwa.
Waya Abadwa.
Waya Badwa.
Waya Idaiwa.
Waya Daiwa.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Atha.
Tha.
Shankaya Hawa.
Shankaya Hawa.
Labadka.
Labadka.
Al Yawan.
Al Yawan.
Al Kalharataza.
Al Kalharatiza. Psalms 83 in English. Keep not thou silence,
Keep not thy silence,
O God.
O God.
Hold not thy peace,
Hold not thy peace,
and be not still, O God.
and be not still, O God.
For lo, thine enemies make a tumult,
thine enemies make a tumult,
and they that hate thee
and they that hate thee
have lifted up the head.
have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel
They have taken crafty counsel
against thy people,
against thy people,
and consulted
and consulted
against thy hidden ones.
against thy hidden ones.
They have said,
They have said,
Come,
come,
and let us cut them off
and let us cut them off
from being a nation,
from being a nation,
that the name of Israel
that the name of Israel
may be no more in remembrance.
may be no more in remembrance.
For they have consulted together
For they have consulted together
with one consent.
with one consent.
They are confederate against thee,
They are confederate against thee,
the tabernacles of Edom,
the tabernacles of Edom,
and the Ishmaelites,
and the Ishmaelites
of Moab,
of Moab,
and the Hagarenes,
and the Hagarenes,
Gabal,
Gabal,
and Ammon,
and Ammon,
and Amalek,
and Amalek,
the Philistines,
the Philistines,
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Ashur also is joined with them.
Ashur also is joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah,
Salah.
do unto them
Do unto them
as unto the Midianites,
as unto the Midianites,
as to Sisera,
as to Sisera,
as to Jabin,
as to Jabin,
at the brook of Kasan,
at the brook of Kisan,
which perished at Endor.
which perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like Oreb,
Make their nobles like Oreb,
like Zeb.
like Zeb.
Yea,
Yea,
all their princes as Zebah,
and as all their princes as Zebah,
and as Zalmunna,
and as Zalmunna,
who said,
who said,
Let us take to ourselves
let us take to ourselves
the houses of God in possession.
the house of God in possession.
O my God,
O my God,
make them like a wheel,
make them like a wheel,
as the stubble before the wind,
as the stubble before the wind,
as the fire burneth a wood,
as the fire burneth the wood,
and as the flame
and as the flame
setteth the mountains on fire.
setteth the mountains on fire.
So persecute them
So persecute them
with thy tempest,
with thy tempest,
and make them afraid
and make them afraid
with thy storm.
with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame,
Fill their faces with shame,
that they may seek thy name,
that they may seek thy name,
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Let them be confounded
Let them be confounded
and troubled forever.
and troubled forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame
let them be put to shame
and perish,
and perish,
that men may know
that men may know
that thou,
that thou,
whose name alone
whose name alone
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the Most High over all the earth.
are the Most High over all the earth. The prayer for power structure. Barakatha Yahweh,
Barakatha Yahweh,
Wa Yahweh Shai,
Wa Yahweh Shai,
Wa Mayaka
Wa Mayaka
Wa Alahayim,
Wa Alahayim,
Matazabya,
Matazabya,
Alawab Yahanna,
Alawab Yahanna,
Ha Alawabyan,
Alawabyam,
Ha Saranyam,
Asaranyam,
Ha Kwatazayanyam,
Akwatazayanyam,
Ha Yawyam,
Hakayayalyam,
Ha Aquafiam,
Wahakwathian,
Yahweh, Basham, Yahushai,
Yahweh Yahushai,
Thawad Aman.
Wada Aman. Blessings in English. Bless you, Yahweh,
Bless you, Yahweh,
and Yahushai,
and Yahushai,
and Michael,
and Michael,
and the angels.
and the angels.
Commanding General Yahanna,
Commanding General Yahanna,
the generals,
the generals,
the captains,
the captains,
the officers,
the officers,
the troopers,
the troopers,
and the sisters.
and the sisters.
Yahweh, in the name of Yahawashi,
Yahweh, in the name of Yahawashi,
thank you, so be it.
thank you. Salakia. Thank you, so be it. Bless you, Salakia. Blessed are you, Yahweh,
Blessed are you, Yahweh,
King of heaven and earth and all things living.
King of heaven and earth and all things living.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of Yahawashi,
in the name of Yahawashi,
listen to us now,
listen to us now,
right now.
right now.
Send evils and curses,
And evils and curses,
and punishment and destruction
and punishment and destruction
to the heathen
to the heathen
that speak against us, thy prophets,
that speak against us, thy prophets,
the teachers, the princes,
the teachers, the princes,
the priests, the Israelite brothers, and the school.
the priests, the Israelite brothers, and the school.
Send evils and curses,
Send evils and curses,
and punishment and destruction
and punishment and destruction
to the heathen.
to the heathen,
Shake loose the pockets of the rich of Israel
and shake loose the pockets of the rich of Israel
that refuse to give to the school,
that refuse to give to the school.
force their riches
Force their riches,
to enter into thy sanctuary.
enter into thy sanctuary.
Send evil and curses,
Send evil and curses,
and punishment and destruction
and punishment and destruction
to the Edomites and their nations,
to the Edomites and their nation and the nations,
and their drug dealers,
and their drug dealers,
the court system,
the court system,
the prison system,
prison system,
Planned Parenthood,
Planned Parenthood,
all the governments of our enemies,
all the governments of our enemies,
Amalek synagogues and armies,
Amalek synagogues and armies,
the Roman Catholic Church,
the Roman Catholic Church,
the Pope,
the Pope,
Islam,
Islam,
Christianity,
Christianity,
Egyptology,
Egyptology,
militia,
militia,
Ku Klux Klan,
Ku Klux Klan,
Aryan Nation,
Aryan Nation,
skinheads,
skinheads,
posse comitatus,
Ossikomatazi,
the gay movement,
gay movement,
the lesbian movement,
lesbian movement,
spies,
spies,
workers of witchcraft,
workers of witchcraft,
NASA space programs,
NASA space programs,
Army,
Army,
Navy, Air Force,
Air
Marines,
Force, Marines,
Wall Street,
Wall Street,
open up the internet
open up the internet
and the airways,
and the airways,
cable access channels,
cable access channels,
the radio channels.
and the radio channels.
Convict the spirit of any of thy people
Convict the spirit of any of thy people
that seek to stop us,
that seek to stop us
and bring swift destruction
and bring swift destruction
to all the heathen
to all the heathen
that stand in the way or try to stop us
that stand in the way or try to stop us
from broadcasting your words throughout the planet Earth.
from broadcasting your word throughout the planet Earth.
Let loose all the plagues.
Let loose all the plagues.
Cause them to go to and fro through the earth.
Cause them to go to and fro through the earth.
Cause the plagues to come up against America
Cause the plagues to come up against America
and destroy them in their strongholds.
and destroy them in their strongholds.
Let America shake at the plagues.
Let America shake at the plagues.
Let Yahawashi, Michael, and Gabriel
Let Yahawashi, Michael, and Gabriel
come down with the flying saucers
come down with the flying saucers
and destroy all the heathens
and destroy all the heathens
that come up against us
that come up against us
as we speak thy word.
as we speak thy word.
Cause it to be known by all.
Cause it to be known by all
That is the angels that have done it.
that it is the angels that have done it.
Cause it to be spread through the media
Cause it to be spread through the media
throughout the whole world.
throughout the whole world.
Cause them to shake at thy coming.
Cause them to shake at thy coming.
In the name of Yahawashi,
In the
thank
name
you.
of Yahawashi, thank you.
Always so be it.
Always so be it.
Men of Israel, Agwafim, sorry, you may be seated. All right, so again, we're closing another feast day. So out here, let me get my chair real quick. We're closing another feast day, right? We had Passover, and then throughout the Passover, we went into the Feast of Unleavened Bread, and we counted. We counted until we got, okay, at the end of, when we closed the Feast of Unleavened Bread, we also opened the Feast of First Fruits, or you would give your best. You would give the first harvest to the priest, the best of what you had to the priest, right? So we opened it, and now it's coming to a close, right? So we are going to close the Feast of First Fruits. Salakia. Bear with me one moment. I'm going to get Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. I'm going to read the Hebrew for you. And then my brother Barak, in that fly garment he got, he's going to read it in the English, and we'll go over it, right? So if you want, you could open your KJV to Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. And this is a chapter Christians don't read. Like, Christians throw away half the book, but they'll say they follow God. Here's the crazy part, right? Yesterday was an oppressor's holiday, a holiday that's not in the KJV. It's not for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to celebrate. Christians around the world celebrated it like it was supposed to be celebrated, like the Lord wanted them to celebrate. They'll say Father's Day, Happy Father's Day, but disobey their father. In the I.S.U.P.K, we follow the Father, and we do not disobey him, right? Many of us are gathering today because that is a commandment. It's a holy convocation, a separate gathering where we observe the Feast of First Fruits, and we're going to go into it. So I'm going to read the first 7 chapters, Salakia, the first 7 verses of the Leviticus 23rd chapter in the Hebrew. Right? Bear with me one moment. All right, so I'm going to read it. Wayah Debar, Yahweh, Masha, Lama'ar, Salakia, Lamar, Dubar, Banya, Yasha'ala, Amarath, Ham, Mawa'ad, Yahweh, Ashar, Tekora'ah, Wa, Atham, Makwar Wa, Kodash, Allah, Ham, Mawa'aya. Verse 3. Salakia. Shashaf, Yum, Thaisha, Mala'aka, Uba, Yawam, Hashaba, Ya'aya, Shabath 1, Makwa Ra'ah, Kodash, Kal, Mala'aka, La'ah, Thasha, Salakia, Thaishawa, Thabath, Shabath, Hawa'ah, La Yahweh, Bakal, Mawa, Shabath, Kayam. Verse 4. Allah, Mawa'id, Yahweh, Mokwa Ra'ah, Kodash, Ashar, Tekora'ah, Wa, Atham, Bama Wa'id, Salakia, Bama Wa'id, verse 5. Bakadash, Hara'ash 1, Ba'ai, Aishara, Lakodash, Salakia, Lakadash, Bayan, Ha'irad, Yum, Pasak, La Yahweh. Verse 6. Uba Kamash Aishara, Yawam, La Kadash, Hazah, Ka, Ha, Matazah, Waf, La Yahweh, Shaba'ai, Yum, Matazah, Waf, Akal, Wa, Bayawam, Ha Ra'ash 1, Makwa Ra'ah, Kodash, Yahaya, Lakam, Ka, Mala'ath, Kaf, Ibadah, La'a, Thaishawa. That was 7 verses in the Hebrew. Now Barak is going to read verses 1 to 7 in the English in Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. And give a shalom to everyone who's in the chat. Listen, Salakia, if you could like, subscribe, and share these videos, right? So I wanted to anybody in the chat, anybody who's new to watching this channel, if you are interested in becoming a part of the school, there is a sign-in link in English, in a bunch of different languages for the languages that you speak throughout the nation, right? But hit that sign-in link, which is required to get credit and get the benefits of joining the I.S.U.P.K, right? So basically, if you're trying to get a Hebrew name, hit the sign-in link. Salakia Barak, if you could.
Karawakan, this is Leviticus chapter 23, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, verse 2, speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, concerning the feasts of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations. Even these are my feasts.
Right. So the Lord gave the children of Israel a bunch of feasts. These feast days were given to us before we got into the kingdom. They still stand now. All throughout this chapter, you're going to find out that these feast days were supposed to celebrate for generations, right? Guess what's not a feast day? Your birthday, Father's Day. What's coming up next? Canada Day. Those aren't feast days of the Lord. Those are days of man that aren't supposed to be celebrated. It's a sin to celebrate your birthday, right? You celebrating Canada Day. Why are you doing that when Native Americans, your brothers and sisters, have been unalived in Canada? They were unalived so we can get Canada Day. We have our own feast days. We have our own constitution and our own way of life. Keep reading.
Karawakan, even these are my feasts. Leviticus chapter 23, verse 3. 6 days shall work be done, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of rest and holy convocation. Ye shall do no work therein.
Right. So on the Sabbath day, you're not supposed to listen. Your slave master is making you go to work. You're not supposed to get up and work on a Friday night or get up early in the morning and go work on a Saturday, right? For some oppressor, okay? So they can drive around in a Porsche while you're taking the bus to this job. And they're going to talk to you any ways. You're supposed to have a day off. It's a day of rest from your laborers. You know what doesn't get a day of rest? You know what doesn't get a day of rest? An elevator. An elevator does not get a Sabbath. It doesn't get a rest day, right? Now, that's what the little hats, them little hats who run with our culture, they will turn around and put up a sign that says, this is a Sabbath elevator. It's not running from Friday sundown to Saturday sundown, right? Sabbath was made for the man, not man for the Sabbath. We don't worship the Sabbath. It's a day of rest for us. That's what Barak just read, right? This is a Sabbath day today, a day of rest where we are just chilling. We are gathering together as a family, right? The Most High gave us a day of rest, and our oppressors are going to pay for making you work on that day, right? You could also cook on the Sabbath. You'll listen to fake Israelites and Christians around the world will tell you you can't cook on the Sabbath. You ask them why, and they won't have the answer. They'll try to make it seem like you're not supposed to be using fire. Well, I asked them, do they sit in their house with the lights off? In the middle of winter, do they turn on the heat? All right, Barak, keep reading.
Karawakan. It is the Sabbath of the Lord in all your dwellings. Verse 4. These are the feasts of the Lord, even holy convocation, which ye shall proclaim in their seasons.
Right. So these are the feasts of the Lord. They're holy convocations, and they're going to be proclaimed in their seasons. I mean, there's a specific time that these seasons, that these feasts happen, right? The generals and the men above us in the school, they understand the seasons, and they will track the seasons so we can get our holy calendar every year, right? Every year, every season, there is a feast day. Right, and we have men who have been doing this since the 80s, since the 69, listen, we got men in this school they were taught by the men who came in the early 60s, in the late 60s, and in the 80s, and in the 90s, and in the 2000s, and they've kept this tradition that we find in the Bible that the Lord wanted us to celebrate. They've been keeping it for a long time, so we could keep it now. Right, keep reading, Barack.
Karawakan. Leviticus chapter 23, verse 5. In the 14th day of the first month at even is the Lord's Passover.
Right, Passover just happened. Right, Barack was down at Passover.
Karawakan.
Shariwan was at the Passover. Right, give that a hand. They made that journey towards the Passover. Listen, we had a bunch of people get to the Passover. If you watch, you just got to go look for the tapes, that Passover tapes, the Black Party tapes, all the performances. You can check out Malakwaf's Facebook page. You might have to go back a couple months, but you'll see all the Passover performed Black Party videos, right? And it's a glorious thing to have a Passover. Passover is something where, listen, the Lord saved us in Egypt. Right now we're in Egypt again, but this is spiritual Egypt. We're in that same bondage, that same house of bondage again. Brothers in throughout Canada are struggling to find employment right now. That's because this kingdom is falling. And the Lord is going to send the angels to pass over this kingdom again and destroy it.
Damn right.
Just like they destroyed Egypt. Them angels destroyed Egypt. Look at Egypt now. Went from jet black to Arab. You look at Egypt now, it's a bunch of Arab people saying they're the Egyptians when they are not the Egyptians. Egypt used to be a powerful economy, a powerful place. Everyone went there to do business, just like everyone goes to America to do business. What did Egypt have? Egypt had the children of Israel in slavery. So much so, the Lord had to pass over that land with the death angel, Salakia, and unalive the firstborns of the Egyptians. Right? That's what we pray for now. We pray that the Lord come on a Sabbath day and free us from this bondage. Keep reading.
Karawakan, verse 6. And on the 15th day of the same month is the feast of unleavened bread unto the Lord. 7 days you must eat unleavened bread.
Right, so we have, right after Passover is the Feast of Unleavened Bread, right? And listen, if you haven't experienced some unleavened bread with the honey and the lamb sop, listen, you take that unleavened bread and you dip it in that lamb sop, that gravy from that lamb that's roasted. And you're gonna, listen, that's going to be a meal that you crave every year. Every year you're gonna be like, when's the lamb slaughter? When's the lamb slaughter? Right? You should be making some lamb right now. Salakia, listen, that lamb is amazing. You can make unleavened bread all year round. You should try some, right? Get with your school, get with your camp leaders, and so you can learn how to make some unleavened bread. This is the feast that came up after unleavened bread. Like right after unleavened bread, which we're going to read just now, we went into the Feast of First Fruits. We opened it, and now we're closing the Feast of First Fruits. Keep reading.
Karawakan, Leviticus chapter 23, verse 7. In the first day you shall have an holy convocation and do no servile work therein.
Right. In the first day you have a holy convocation, meaning a separate gathering, right? A separate gathering where this is not invited to everyone else. This if you're Caucasian, you can't come in here. you're Asian, you're not in here. If you're African, you're not in here. East Indian, you're not in here. Hawaiian, you're not in here. Aborigine, like Slovakia, like from Australia, you're not in here. That's the Christian church. The Christian church will let everybody in. They'll let the child abusers in. They'll let the adulterers in. They'll let the stinking pastor who's stealing all granny's money in just so he can buy a Benz. Right? They'll let Dylan Storm Roof in that church and unalive them so he can unalive them. That doesn't fly in here. That's not going to happen. You're not going to come into the ISUPK and sit down for a holy convocation or a Sabbath or class and see Dylan Storm Roof sitting beside you. Right? These are holy convocations. These are separate days that the Lord set up. Right? It's holy. It's separate. It's not supposed to be for everyone. Just like salvation is not for everyone. According to Christ, Christ says salvation is for the Jews.
Right.
All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to read verses 8 to 14 in the Hebrew. And then we're going to have Barak read it in the English and we'll break it down. So this is Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, verse 8. Waha korabath ashal salakia ashah la Yahweh Shabbat yum yum bayawam habaya yaaya makwa ra'ah kodash kal malak kaf ibada la'ah tha'aishwa. Verse 9. Wayadabar Yahweh all Masha Lamar. Verse 10. Dabar all Banya Yasha'ala Wa Amarath all Ham Kaya Thaba'awa all Ha'abrataza Ashar Anaya Nathan Lakam Kwa Salakia Kwa Tazar Ratham Kwatazar Yara Waha Ba'ath Aimar Ra'ash Ra'ah Shayaf Kwatazar Salakia Kwatazar Yar Kam Al Hakan. Verse 11. Waha Nayab Ath Ha'amar Lapanya Yahweh La Ra Tazayan Zan Kam Mamakwa Rath Hashabat Yana Nawa Ka Hakahan. Verse 12. I.S.U.P.K Bayawam Hanapa Salakia Hanayab Kam Af Haimar Kabash Thamayam Ban Shanafwa La Ila La Yahweh. Verse 13. Again, this is Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, verse 13. Wama Nakaf Wa Shanya Aisharanyam Salaf Bala Wala Bashaman Asha La Yahweh Rayak Nayaka Wana Saka Yayan Rabayah Salakia Rabayah Hahayan. Verse 14. Walakam Salakia Walakam Wakawalaya Waka Ramal La'a Tha'akal Wa Itazam Hayawam Hazah Habayah Salakia Habaya come. Af Korban. Allah Kayam. Kwaf. Alawam. Ladaraf. Ya Kam Bakal. Mashabah Yakam. That was what we read. We read verses 8 to 14 in the Hebrew. Now we'll read verses 8 to 14 in the English and break it down for you.
Karawakan, Leviticus chapter 23, verse 8. But ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord 7 days.
Right, that offering made by fire is, we're going to have a cookout like what we're doing right now. We're cooking the foods that we're offering to the Lord. Keep reading.
Karawakan, in the 7th day is an holy convocation.
Right, another day of rest is in the 7th day. Keep reading.
Karawakan, ye shall do no servile work therein.
Read.
Karawakan, verse 9. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, verse 10. Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, when ye be come into the land which I gave unto you, and shall reap the harvest thereof, then ye shall bring a sheaf of the first fruits of your harvest unto the priest.
And that's what we're in today. We're in first fruits, where we got the land. We got the land. It was divided. Everyone got their inheritance, right? We grew some crops, raised some cattle, raised some sheep, or whatever it was, right? And the first of what we got out of that, whatever we raised up, whatever we grew, we would give to the priest. And not only the first, we would give the best of what we got to the priest. And that's the first fruits. And today, we're not giving, like, who in Canada and Toronto got a lamb? Y'all got a lamb to give to the Lord, to the priest? Listen, you got a lamb, bring it to my doorsteps, right? If you don't got a lamb, here's what you do. Give the best of yourself to the Lord, like I did. The streets got the worst of me. Salakia, Barak. Confession's good for the soul.
God.
The streets got the worst of me, right? Some of y'all brothers understand the streets gets the worst of you. What about the best of you? Where does that go? Give it to the Lord. Keep reading, Barak.
Karawakan, Leviticus chapter 23, verse 11. And he shall wave the sheaf before the Lord to be accepted for you. On the morrow after the Sabbath, the priest shall wave it. Verse 12. And ye, Karawakan, verse 12. And ye shall offer that day when ye wave the sheaf and he lamb without blemish of the first year for a burnt offering unto the Lord.
Right. So we're going to give what are the best of what we have to the priest. And that's what was just read. Giving the best of what you have to the priest. Today you give yourself. Give yourself to the priest. Give yourself to the Lord. Join the I.S.U.P.K and help feed your people. Your neighborhood needs food drives and clothing drives and someone to counsel these sisters from going into that abortion clinic and getting out the strip parlor. And brothers, listen, the brothers need a brother that's going to counsel them so they don't jump in that free car. Bro, you know what a free car is?
La, sir.
Listen, there's a pandemic in my city, right? Where brothers are stealing cars. They don't call it a stolen car no more. They call it a free car. Someone needs to convince these brothers to get out of the free car and join the I.S.U.P.K. so they can convince other brothers to not go in that free car and unalive some brother that's just walking through the neighborhood. Right? So you got to give your best so that can happen. Keep reading.
Karawakan, Leviticus chapter 23, verse 13. And the meat offering thereof shall be 2/10 deals of fine flour mingled with oil, an offering made by fire unto the Lord for a sweet savor.
Right. This is an offering. Listen, you understand what you just heard? You ever wonder why blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans cook the best? Why when you walk into any of our homes or any of our restaurants, the food just smells amazing and it has the most flavor? Because that's what you just read. You read to season your food, right? You're mixing it with fine flour and mingled with oil, right? And it's an offering made by fire, meaning you're seasoning your food for a sweet savor. And you're cooking this food with all the good sweet spices and smells, right? And that they're going to use that as an offering for the Lord, right? We're going to gather together as a people and have a celebration, a separate gathering. Keep reading, Barak.
Karawakan, and the drink offering thereof shall be of wine, the fourth part of an hin.
Ooh, listen, the drink offering thereof is of wine, right? So there is wine you're allowed to drink, bro.
Karawakan.
And in that Christian church and in that mosque, they're telling you can't drink, right? Christ drank. During the Sabbath service, we drink. Listen, I got some wine right here, right? I got the olive oil. I have to have the wine as well, right? And we're going to have a drink. And that is one of the excellent parts of these high holy days and these convocations that we come to. Sometimes the world is beating you down and you are fighting demons and you're slaying demons and it's taking a toll on you and you feel drained. And then you find out, listen, we're going to Dirham for the Passover. Or we're going to Texas or Florida for the Passover. Or there's a West Coast cookout and you see your brothers and sisters and it's recharging you. It's recharging your battery that the oppressor is trying to drain, right? That Satan is trying to get you to turn against the Lord. You come back to these holy convocations, you recharge your battery and you have a sip with your brother or sister. You have a drink some strong. Could be some sweet wine, some manashivas, right? And it's going to recharge your battery. And you're going to be like, all right, I got the strength to go another 3-4 months until the next cookout, until I get to see Barak again. Good night. Barak, keep reading.
Karawakan. Leviticus chapter 23, verse 14. And ye shall eat neither bread, nor parched corn, nor green ears, until the selfsame day that ye have brought an offering unto your God.
Right. So what this is saying is this is the first thing you're going to do before you even eat, before you decide to go and feast on anything. Go bring your offering to the men of the Lord. Right? That's what you want to do first. Bring your offering to the men of the Lord. Keep reading.
Karawakan. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations in all your dwellings.
This is something we're going to do forever. As long as the nation of Israel, the kingdom of Israel is alive, we're going to be doing this. Right? This was given to the Israelites. It wasn't given to anybody else. Keep reading.
That was the end of verse 14 out of 1.
That was the end of verse 14.
Karawakan.
Most High in Christ. All right, so we're going to read 15 to 21 in the Hebrew. And then Barak is going to read it in the English. This is Leviticus 23, verse 15. Wasa paraham lakam maka kurath salakia ha-shabath mayawam ha-baya'a kam af aymar ha thana wapa shabai shabawath shabathwath Thamaya Math Thahaya Na Yana. Verse 16. I Makwa Salakia Mama Kurath Hashabath Yaad Saparwa Kamashyam Yawam Waha Korabath Mana Ka'a Kadasha La Yahweh. 17. Mama Washabath Yakam Thabaya Ayawa Lakam Thana Wapa Shathai Sha'ath Salakia Sha'ath Yam Shamya Aisha Salakia Aisha Renayam Sala'af Salah Salakia Thaha Yana Kamataza Tha'a Payana Baka Waryam La Yahweh. Verse 18. Waha Korabath Ha Lakam Thaba'if Kabashya Thamayam Abanya Shana Wapar Ban Bakwar Akkad Wa'a Yayam Shanayam Hayawa Salakia Yahayawa Ayla La Yahweh Wana Ka Wana Sa Yaham Asha Raya Nayaka La Yahweh. Verse 19. Wa'isha Yatham'a Sha'ayar Isayam Akkad Lakat Athawa Shanayam Baka Salakia Kabashyam Banya Shana La Zabah Shalam Yam. Verse 20. Waha Nayab Hakahan Atham Alakam Haba Rayam Thanopawa Salakia Thanawapa Lapanya Yahweh Ashanya Kabash Yam Kodash Yahayawa Salakia Yahayawa La Yahweh La Kahan. Verse 21. Again, this is Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, verse 21. Record Ra'ath Ba'aitazam Hayawam Hazah Makara'a Kodash Yahaya Lakam Ka Mala'ath Ka Ibada La'a Tha'isha Wa Hukwath Ilawam Ba Ka Mawa Shabbath Yakam Ladarath Yakam. That was Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, verses 15 to 21 in the Hebrew. Baraki Allah is going to read it in the English.
Karawakan. Leviticus chapter 23, verse 15. And ye shall count unto you from the morrow after the Sabbath, from the day that ye brought the sheaf of the wave offering, 7 Sabbaths shall be complete.
Right. So after when we close the Feast of Unleavened Bread, we open the Feast of First Fruits, and we wait 7 Sabbaths, which we did, and now we're closing it. Keep reading.
Karawakan, verse 16. Even unto the morrow after the 7th Sabbath shall ye number 50 days. And ye shall offer a new meat offering unto the Lord.
Keep reading.
Karawakan, verse 17. Ye shall bring out of your habitation 2 wave loaves of 2/10 deals. They shall be of fine flour. They shall be baken with leaven. They are the first fruits unto the Lord.
Right. So these are the holy days that the Lord gave us, right? We count these days down. They're in their seasons. Their holy convocations are separate. This is something that you see in the world, right? Where you'll see brothers and sisters say, I don't want to read that Bible because it's by an oppressor. It's by some white man. And they get all spooky about it. And then they turn around and celebrate every single holiday that the Caucasian tells them to celebrate. They buy their ribs flour because the Caucasian man, the oppressor, tells them it's Valentine's Day. They buy their ribs a birthday present because the world tells them it's okay to celebrate their birthday. Right? We have our own feast days. We have our own culture. And it's coming back to us now. It was wiped out from slavery. But we opened this book and we found out that this book belongs to us and this is our culture. Right, Barack, keep reading.
Karawakan, verse 18. And ye shall offer with the bread 7 lambs without blemish of the first year, and 1 young bullock, and 2 rams. They shall be for a burnt offering unto the Lord, with their meat offering and their drink offerings, even an offering made by fire of sweet savor unto the Lord.
Right, and that sweet savor is unto the Lord, right? That sweet savor is the foods that we're cooking, right? The foods that we're burning with the fire, that we're grilling. Right, and we're going to offer these things. It's the best of what we're giving to the Lord, and then we're going to celebrate. We're going to gather together. Again, this is something that is coming back to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. In the world, we're taught to do everything that goes against the Lord, right? And this is such a refreshing thing to, especially that it's in June. If you're in America, in Toronto, or in Canada right now, and it's June, you're seeing the LGBTQ community hold your city hostage.
Damn right.
You can't do nothing without seeing those. Listen, they're gonna have a naked bike ride. Now, I'm not even sure if they still do this, but I know in the city of Toronto, they have a naked bike ride. And I advise you to stay inside that day, right? Because just like the men in Sodom and Gomorrah were just out of control, the people in Toronto who are celebrating the LGBT community right now are out of control. So, okay, keep reading, Brock.
Karawakan. Leviticus chapter 23, verse 19. Then ye shall sacrifice 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and 2 lambs of the first year for a sacrifice of peace offerings.
Keep reading.
Karawakan, verse 20. And the priest shall wave them with the bread of the first fruits for a wave offering before the Lord. With the 2 lambs, they shall be holy to the Lord for the priest.
Right. So what's happening is you're going to go give what you're giving to the priest, and he's going to wave it in front of the congregation to the Lord. Right. Keep reading.
Karawakan, verse 21. And ye shall proclaim of the selfsame day that it may be an holy convocation unto you. Ye shall do no servile work therein. It shall be a statute forever in all your dwellings throughout your generations.
See, it's not just in the Old Testament, it's forever. They were doing this during the time when they were writing the New Testament, they were doing these celebrations. Christ celebrated the Passover. Christ celebrated Hanukkah. Now, ask your pastor, listen, for those of you who stumbled upon this channel, right, and you're in the Christian faith, listen, go ask your stinking pork eating chop pastor where this celebration is. right? Where did Christ celebrate Hanukkah? Why don't we celebrate the high holy days that are in the Bible? I guarantee you the answer that he's going to give you is going to amount to, I just want your tithes money.
Right.
He doesn't have the answers. Like Kanye told Sway, you don't have the answers? Your pastor does not have the answers. That's why there's so much adultery and child abuse in that Christian church. All right. So that was the end of 21. We're going to read 22 to verse 28 in the Hebrew. And then Barak is going to continue again and read it in the English for us. So this is Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, verse 22. Waba Quatazar, come, Quatazar, yar. Ratazar, come, la'a, thala'a, thalakia, thakala, pa'af, shada, ka, ba Quatazar, ka, walaquat, Quatazar, ka, la'a, thalaquat, la'ai, naya, wa lagar, tha'izab, Atham, Athniya, Yahweh, Allah, Yakam, Sa, verse 23. Wayadabar, Yahweh, Al, Masha, Lamar, 24. Dabar, Ath, Wanya, Yasha'ala, Lamar, Bakodash, Ha, Shabaya, Ya, Ba'akad, Lakadash, Ya, Haya, Lakam, Shabbath 1, Zakar 1, Thara Wa'ai, Ma'kwara'a, Kodash, Ka, Malakath, Ibada, La'a, Shah, Salakia, Tha'aisha, Wa, Waha, Rabath, Asha, La Yahweh, Sa, verse 26. Wayadabar, Yahweh, Masha, La Amar, verse 27. Ba Aishawar, La Kodash, Hasha, Slakia, Hasha, Ba Ya'ai, Hazah, Yawam, Ha, Kapar Yam, Hawa'a, Mawakura'a, Kodash, Yahaya, Lakam, Wa, Aina, Yitham, Napash, Slakia, Napashath, Yakam, Wa, Waha, Korabath, Yam, Asha, La Yahweh, verse 28. Wukal, Mala, La'a, Tha'aisha, Wa, Ba'aitazam, Ha, Yuvam, Ha, Zaha, Kaya, Yuvam, Wakaparyam, Hawa'a, La Kapar, Al-Ya, Kam, Lapanya, Yahweh, Alahaya, Alaha, Yakam. Barak, can you read?
Talawaka in Leviticus chapter 23, verse 22. And when you reap the harvest of your land, thou shalt not make clean riddance of the corners of thy field when thou reapest. Neither shalt thou gather any gleaning of thy harvest. Thou shalt leave them unto the poor and to the stranger. I am the Lord your God.
Right, and that's brotherhood. Listen, we live in a place where the prime minister of this country is going to give away billions of dollars. You're struggling to pay your rent. You got to line up at the food bank. The food bank lines keep getting longer and longer and longer. You're opening your fridge right now. There is nothing. In our kingdom, In our kingdom, that does not happen. In our kingdom, we're going to make sure the poor of us are always eating. If you have a vineyard, you're gonna listen. The outskirts of your vineyard, the border, you're gonna leave. Let them poor brothers and sisters get them grapes. Let them eat their grapes. They might be journeying. They might be going somewhere. They might not have nothing to eat at all. Let them get them grapes. Let them get them apples. Keep reading, Barak.
Karawakan, verse 23. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, verse 24, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, in the 7th month, in the 1st day of the month, shall ye have a Sabbath, a memorial of blowing of trumpets and holy convocation.
Right. So we're going to have a Sabbath, a holy convocation, right? And that is the next feast day that's coming up is the blowing of trumpets. And then after that comes the Feast of Pay. We'll get there. But the blowing of trumpets, and again, this has nothing to do with the walls of Jericho when they blew them trumpets, right? Salakia. So again, Salakia, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, bro.
Okay. You understand? Again, today we're closing the Feast of the First Fruits, which is 50 days or 7th Sabbath after closing the Feast of Unleavened Bread, right? And just like we brought out earlier, we have to keep these feasts of the Lord, these holy convocations throughout our generations in all of our dwellings. The fake Israelites will tell you, well, we're not in the land right now, so we can't keep the feast. We don't have a temple, so we can't keep the Passover. We can't keep the Feast of Unleavened Bread, or whatever nonsense they say. When clearly the Bible said, as previously mentioned, that we should keep these feasts in all of our dwellings throughout our generations forever. With that, I'm going to pass the class to Officer Zabadi.
Where did we just finish reading? 23 or 24?
You just finished reading 24 out of 1.
Right. So the next holy convocation is the memorial of blowing trumpets. This is just another holiday, another feast day, another time for brothers and sisters to recharge their battery in the truth. Another time that the Lord gave us so we can gather together. Right. Keep reading.
Karawakan, Leviticus chapter 23, verse 25. Ye shall do no servile work therein, but ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord.
Keep reading.
Karawakan, verse 26. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, verse 27. Also, on the 10th day of this 7th month, there shall be a day of atonement. It shall be an holy convocation unto you.
Right. So there's a day of atonement, right? And that's the day where we're going to feast on pain. We're going to fast, right? And not that wake up at 4 in the morning and eat, and then you go like 12 hours without eating, and then you eat at sundown. That's not a fast. We're talking 24 hours without food or drink. That's what we're going to do, right? That's what we're going to do. 24 hours without food and drink to atone for your sins, to atone for the sins of the nation, because the Most High doesn't judge us by ourselves. He'll judge us as a nation. One man can be sinning in the nation, and we will lose a whole war. You just go back to, in I believe it's Exodus, right? When the brother, he kept the garment and we started losing battles. Right? I believe this is with Joshua or Moses. I have to go back and read it just to clarify, right? But a brother took a garment because he thought the garment was fly. Listen, there's no one. Listen, I'll just say it like this. You want a good garment, you got to check out a Captain Yagarwa, a Hazahab Collections, a Thabawan, right? There's so many people, and Salakia for all this, brothers and sisters who make garments whose names I didn't mention, right? There's just too much. the garment I got on right now is from Hazahab, right? And it's not, there's nothing more flyer than what we're wearing right now. But there was a brother who seen a garment and he wanted to keep it. We started losing wars. With the Day of Atonement, we're going to fast for the brothers and sisters of our nation who have been sinning, who aren't in the truth. We're going to fast for them. Keep reading.
Karokan. It shall be an holy convocation unto you, and ye shall afflict your souls.
Oui.
And
Read.
Karokan, and offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord.
Right. We're going to afflict our souls. We're going to starve ourselves for 24 hours, not eat anything. Right. For some of y'all, this is going to be brand new. Right. For some of us, this is our third or fourth time doing it. And when you're going through it, you're going to call your brother, your sister, or your camp leader, get some counsel, talk to them on the phone, right? You're going to try and get the day off work. Your oppressor, because he's oppressor, he's not going to give you the day off work. So you got to go through it, right? But this is another holy convocation. Keep reading. And then, Salakia, then when the sun sets, we're going to feast. Ooh, that's the best part. We're going to feast. We're going to have a table full of food, brothers and sisters chilling, and we're going to feast and eat the food. Keep going.
Karokan, and ye shall do no work in that same, Salakia, Leviticus chapter 23, verse 28. And ye shall do no work in that same day, for it is a day of atonement, to make an atonement for you before the Lord your God.
Right. This is a day that we're using to make an atonement, to beg for forgiveness, right, from the Lord. And listen, this is a day that you should all participate in. And I'll say this, right? As this day comes up, you're going to get more of an understanding, more of a breakdown. But children don't fast on this day. If you're trying to make your child fast, I'm talking about an adolescent child, some child that doesn't understand what's going on, and you're going to make them fast, you are a horrible parent. They're going to ask you for food, and what are you going to do? Punish them? Because they're asking for food? What does a child have to atone for? You're telling me your child's sinning? If your child's sinning, it's because of you. Because you sin, and they're watching you and watching what you do. Right? So with that said, we're going to continue reading. We're going to read 29 to about 35. 29 to 35 in the Hebrew. And then we're going to break it down. This is Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, verse 29. Kaya, Ka, Hanapash, Ashar, La'ah, Tha'ainam, Ba'itazam, Ha, Yawam, Hazah, Wa Karath, Ma'im Yah, Ma'im Yaha. Verse 30. Will call Hanapash, Ashar, Tha'aisha, Ka, Malak, Ka'aba, Itazam, Ha, Yawam, Hazah, Waha, Salakia, Waha, Ba'dath, Af, Hanapash, Ha, Wa'a, Makopab, Ayamha. Verse 31. Ka, Mala'aka, La'a, Tha'aisha, Wa, Kukwath, Ilawam, Ladarath, Yakam, Bakal, Mashabath, Kayam. Verse 32. Shabbath 1. Hawala, Lakam, Wa'ainaya, Af, Napashaf, Kayam, Batha, Salakia, Batha Sha'ai, La Kadash, Ba'irab, Ma'irab, I'irab, Fa Shabbath Wa, Shabbath Kam, Pa. Verse 33. Wa Yadabar, Yahweh, Af, Mashah, Lamar. Verse 34. Dabar, Al, Banyad, Yasha'Allah, Lamar, Ba Komash, Salakia, Ba Kamash Ash, Aishara, Yawam, La Kudash, Ha Shabaya Ayah, Hazah, Kad, Ha Kasakwaf, Shaba'aif, Yam, La Yahweh, 35. Bayawam, Harash, Hara'ah, Shawan, Malquara'ah, Qudash, Ka, Mala'ah, Akaf, Ibad, La'ah, the Aishawa. That was the end of 35. Barak, if you could read Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, verses 29 to 35.
Karawakan. Leviticus chapter 23, verse 29. For whatsoever soul it be that shall not be afflicted in that same day, he shall be cut off from among his people.
Right. So listen, this is something you want to do, and this is something you're commanded to do. If you didn't do this back in the day, you would be cut off from your people. Now that we're learning it today, you got to keep doing it. Right? We are already cut off from our homeland. We haven't seen home. So let's come back to the Lord. Keep reading.
Karawakan. Verse 30. And what, Salakia. Karawakan, verse 30. And whatsoever soul it be that doeth any work in that same day, the same soul will I destroy from among his people.
I know, and some of y'all are listening to this and be like, but I have to work that day. Right? That's not your fault. That's the oppressor's fault. Keep reading.
Karawakan, Leviticus chapter 23, verse 31. Ye shall do no manner of work. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations in all your dwellings.
And Lord be with you if you have to work that day. But again, the oppressor is going to pay for making you have to slave on your time off. Keep reading.
Karawakan, verse 32. It shall be unto you a Sabbath of rest, and ye shall afflict your souls. And the 9th day of the month at even, from even unto even, shall ye celebrate your Sabbath.
Keep reading.
Karawakan, verse 33. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto, Salakia, verse 34. Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, The 15th day of this 7th month shall be the feast of tabernacles for 7 days unto the Lord.
Right, so we go into the Feast of Tabernacles, which is basically the Feast of Booths. It's the Feast of Booths where we remember what it's like to live in the wilderness, where we have to set up a tent. We were on the move constantly. We never stayed in one place for too long. You set up a tent, you sleep, you might hold camp there for 3 days, and then you keep it moving. Take down everything and keep it moving. And that's what we went through. That's what this feast is going to remind us of. Keep reading.
Karawakan, Leviticus chapter 23, verse 35. On the first day shall be an holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein.
Right, the first day is a holy convocation, and we're not going to do any work therein, right? I'm going to read these last few chapters, these last few verses. All right, this is Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, verses 36. We're going to keep reading until we finish this chapter, and then we're going to break it down in English. We're going to say a few prayers and close out the night. Verse 36, Shaba'ai, Yam, Thaqwarayab, Wa, Aisha, La Yahweh, Bayawam, Ha, Shemayan, Ya, Makra'ah, Qudash, Yahaya, Lakam, Waha, Korabath, Asha, La Yahweh, Itazar, Rath, Hawa'ah, Ka, Mala'aka, Ibad, La'a, Aishawa. Salakia. The Aishawa. 37. Allah, Mawa'ai, Ya, Yahweh, Asha, the Qur'an. Wa'ath, Atham, Salakia. Makura'ah. Ya, Qudash, Laha, Quariyab, Asha, Lahawa, La Yahweh, Ayla, Wama na Kazak, Zabak, Wa Nasak, Yam, Debar, Wa Yam, Bayawam, Wa, 38, Malabat, Shabath Af, Yahweh, Wama Labad, Mathan Waf, Yuwam, Salakia, Yakam, Wama Labadka, Nadar, Yakam, Wama Labadka, Nabad, Waf, Yakam Ashar, Thathan Wa, La Yahweh. 39. Bakamasha, Asha, Yawam, La Kodash, Ha Shabbat Ya'ayim, Barsa, Kam, Af, Thaba Wa'af, Ha Rataza, Thakag Wa, Af, Kag, Yahweh, Shaba'ai, Yam, Ba Yawam, Ha Salakia, Ha Ra'ashwan, Thaba Shabathwan, Waba Yawam, Ha Mayan Ya, Shabathwan. Salakia. Let me get back down to where I was. Verse 40. Wala kakaf lakam bayawam ha ra'ashwan ha riyad aitazah hadar kapath thamaryam wa ainab aitazah aibath wa irabya nakal wa shema katham lapanya Yahweh Allah Yakam Shabbai Yam 41. Salakia 41. Wakagath Fam Af Wa Ka La Yahweh Shabbai Yam Bashana Kokwath Iwalam La Darav Yakam Bakodash Ha Shabayaya Thakag Wa Athwa 42. Basakav Tha Shab Wa Ba'ai Shaba'ai Yam Ka Ha Zarat Ba Yasha'ala Yashawwa Ba Akaf 43. Lamain Yada'ai Wa Darav Yakam Kaya Ba Kasakawa Hawa Bath Salakia Hawa Shabbat Ya Banya Yasha'ala Bahawa Taza Ya'a Wa Salakia Awatram Ma'arataza Matazar Yam Anya Yahweh Allah Kayam. Verse 44. Ya Dabar Masha Ma'ad Ya Yahweh Banya Yasha'ala. So that was the end of the chapter. Barak, if you could read from 36 till we finish the chapter.
Karawakan. Leviticus chapter 23, verse 36. 7 days ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. On the 8th day shall be an holy convocation unto you. And ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. It is a solemn assembly, and ye shall do no servile work therein.
Right. These are days off. These are our feast days. Listen, the Lord loved us. He gave us feast days, told Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans, go have a party in my name. Go have a party in my name, cook, and take a day off work. That's what the Lord did for us. Keep reading.
Karawakan, verse 37. These are the feasts of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations, to offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord, a burnt offering and a meat offering, a sacrifice and drink offerings, everything upon his day.
Right. So these are the days that the Lord gave for us that we're going to celebrate. We're going to watch these days. They're his days. There is no day that happens without the Lord. The sun don't shine. You don't make $1 without the Lord. Listen, the Lord knows every hair on your head. Your hair don't grow without the Lord. These are his days. There's no your day. There's no your birthday. You can buy your rib, your wife, a flower any day of the week. You don't have to do it when the oppressor tells you to do it. Right? We have our own culture and our own way of life. Keep reading.
Karawakan, verse 38. Beside the Sabbaths of the Lord, and beside your gifts, and beside all your vows, and beside all your free will offerings which ye give unto the Lord. Leviticus chapter 23, verse 39. Also in the 15th day of the 7th month, when ye have gathered in the fruit of the land, ye shall keep a feast unto the Lord 7 days. And the first day shall be a Sabbath, and on the 8th day shall be a Sabbath.
Right, and this is the Feast of Tabernacles that we're talking about right now. When we're going to remember what it was like to live in the wilderness. Listen, if you look at your neighborhood right now, it's a wilderness. We are not in the land of Israel. We are in the wilderness. We are outside of the place that the Lord made for us. The inheritance that we got for following him. We're outside of it. Right? Right now we live in the wilderness. And this feast day is reminding us of what it was like to travel in that wilderness 40 years until we got into the land. Keep reading.
Karawakan, verse 40. And ye shall take you on the first day the boughs of goodly trees, branches of palm trees, and the boughs of thick trees, and willows of the brook. And ye shall rejoice before the Lord your God 7 days.
Keep reading.
Karawakan, verse 41. And ye shall keep it a feast unto the Lord 7 days in the year. It shall be a statute forever in your generations.
Listen, we're going to keep this feast day for 7 days forever. The Lord gave us another holiday. But you ever notice, like, they say this is a long weekend in Canada. You be in Canada, you be like, listen, don't come to work Monday. It's a long weekend. That is not a long weekend. that is a power nap from your slavery, right? The Lord gave us these long weekends. Salakia, if you think about it, the Lord gave us some long weekends. We just read 7 days of gathering and partying and drinking and eating good food and spending it with family. You might see your family once a year. There might be brothers, and this happens in the school all the time. Some brothers only get to see each other once a year, and that's at Passover. Maybe twice at one of the cookouts. Right? And that's because the oppressor has us in a horrible, horrible condition, a horrible slavery. Where to get a day off, like you're supposed to get freedom of religion in Canada, right? Now, what I'm saying, we don't practice religion, right? But you're supposed to get freedom of religion in Canada, and you got to fight with your employer, if you're Black, Hispanic, and Native American, for a day off to go celebrate the Passover. Keep reading, Barak.
Karawakan. Verse 41. And ye shall keep it a feast unto the Lord 7 days in the year. It shall be a statute forever in your generations. Ye shall celebrate it in the 7th month. Leviticus chapter 23, verse 42. Ye shall dwell in booths 7 days. All that are Israelites born shall dwell in booths.
Right? Because all the Israelites left out of Egypt and went and dwelt in booths for 40 years. For a very long time. This happened. And the Lord wants us to remember this. He wants us to dwell in these booths. Now, that doesn't mean go in your backyard and set up a tent. Right? That doesn't mean that. Right? You'll have fake Israelites and Christians who will think, like, listen, I got to go in my backyard and I got to go set up a tent. I got to go set up a tent and go see what's going on. Keep reading, Barak.
Karawakan. Verse 43, that your generations may know that I made the children of Israel to dwell in booths when I brought them out of the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. Leviticus chapter 23, verse 44. And Moses declared unto the children of Israel the feasts of the Lord.
Again, these are the feasts of the Lord. And if you're trying to celebrate some feast day, some holiday, and you think that it should be celebrated, if it's not in this chapter, it's not supposed to be celebrated. It's not of the Lord. So many of those feast days that they celebrate is not of the Lord. But they're going to push it to you. They're going to push it to you, to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Right? So with that said, men of Israel, Akwafian, the sisters, I.M.A.J.M, which means to stand, Sarah Hakodam, which means turn and face to the east, Salakia. Turn and face the east, we're going to say the Lord's Prayer and call a close to this class. Right? This is the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa.
Abanawa.
Shabbat Shemayam.
Shabbat Shemayam.
Kodash.
Kodash.
Haya.
Haya.
Shemka.
Ka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Malakweth Ka.
Malakweth Ka.
Taba'ah.
Taba'ah.
Ratazakah.
Ratazakah.
Haya.
Haya.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Salakia. Barataza.
Barataza.
Kawa.
Kawa.
Haya.
Haya.
Rashamayam.
Rashamayam.
Yathalanawa.
Yathalanawa.
Lakam.
Lakam.
Kal.
Kal.
Yawam.
Yawam.
Wasalaknawa.
Wasalaknawa.
Kawafnawa.
Wawathnawa.
Kasalaknawa.
Masalaklanawa.
Kawafyanawa.
Mawathyanao.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Gabayanawa.
Wayanawa.
Banasayawan.
Banasayawan.
Abal.
Abal.
Hawashinawa.
Hushaynawa.
Mayan.
Mayan.
Rai.
Rai.
Laka.
Kaya.
Hamalakwath.
Laka Hamalakwath.
Wahala.
Wahala.
Wahathaparath.
Wathaparath.
La'iwalamyam.
La'iwalamyam.
Aman.
Aman. The Lord's Prayer in English. Our Father which art in heaven.
Our Father which art in heaven.
Hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done.
In earth.
In earth.
As it is in heaven.
As it is in heaven.
Give us this day.
Salaki. Give us this day.
Our daily bread.
Our daily bread.
And forgive us our debts.
And forgive us our debts.
As we forgive our debtors.
As we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation.
And lead us not into temptation.
But deliver us from evil.
But deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom.
For thine is the kingdom.
And the power.
And the power.
And the glory.
And the glory.
Forever so be it.
Forever so be it. Salakia. We're going to read the prayer for power. Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'asham,
Bahasham,
Yahushai,
Yahushai,
Babakushah,
Rukusha,
Bethalanawa,
Tamlanawa,
Hakak,
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 Yarpa'ah,
Warapaa,
Kamakala,
Kalmakala,
Kamadawa,
Palmanawa,
Hakak,
Hakak,
Matahar,
Mahar,
Hamatazarayim,
Zarayam,
Hakak,
Hakak,
Lahapayam,
Aquayam,
Hamathayam,
Amathyam,
Hakak,
Hakak,
Arakawa,
Arakawa,
Hatama'ala,
Ma'ala,
Lagarshan,
Darashan,
Basham,
Basham,
Yahushai,
Maushai,
Wada
Wada Aman. The prayer for power in English. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai,
Yahweh in the name of Yahushai,
please give us the power
please give us the power
to heal all manner of sickness,
to heal all manner of sickness,
and all manner of disease,
and all manner of disease,
the power to cleanse the lepers,
the power to cleanse the leper,
the power to raise the dead,
the power to raise the dead,
the power against unclean spirits,
the power against unclean spirits,
to cast them out.
to cast them out.
In the name of Yahushai,
In the name of Yahushai,
thank you, so be it.
thank you, so be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayanya,
Asha'ah Yanya,
Ahahariya, Mayan,
Maharia, Mayan,
Yawa'ah,
Yabaa,
Isaiah,
Isaiah,
Ma'an,
Ma'ai,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashah,
Asha,
Mayam,
Mayam,
Warataza,
Marataza,
Al Yathan,
Al-Yathan,
Unawad,
Mawat,
Galka,
Galka,
Al Yanawam,
Al-Yanawam,
Al Shamarka,
Shamarka,
Hana,
Mana,
La'ah,
Ma'a,
Yanawam,
Mawam,
La'ah,
Ma'a,
Yashan,
Yashan,
Shamar,
Omar,
Yasha'ala,
Yasharala,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Shamarka,
Shamarka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Tazalka,
Zalka,
Al Yad,
Yad,
Yanka,
Yanka,
Yomam,
Omam,
Hashamash,
Shamash,
La'ah Yakaka,
Ayakaka,
Wayarak,
Iraq,
Balayala,
Layala,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamarka,
Shamarka,
Karai,
Kalrai,
Yashamar,
Yashamar,
Ashapashka,
Athnapashka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamar,
Yashamar,
Tazaka,
Zafka,
Wabawaka,
Bawaka,
Ma'atha,
Maitha,
Wa'id,
Wa'id,
Iwulam.
Psalm 121 in English. I will lift up my eyes unto the hills.
I lift up my eyes unto the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from Yahweh,
My help cometh from Yahweh,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
Do not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel
he that keepeth Israel
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in,
and thy coming in
from this time forth
from this time forth
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore. With that said, men of Israel, Sar, Barak, you have the announcements.
Karawakan.
You can read the announcements.
The I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K, the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment
Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 to 10. Means tenth in the Hebrew. Ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department a teacher, priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you like. Upcoming holy convocation. We're currently closing the feast of first fruits. The next convocation will be the memorial of blowing of the trumpets, which is the first day of the 7th month, which falls on Wednesday, the 2nd of October. You can read about it in Leviticus chapter 23, verse 24 to 25. Reminder to all Akim and Aquatian to check the bulletin board in the hallway of their school if they have a physical location. And if any brother wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, blue shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. With that said, we'll give a courtesy salute to the brothers and a courtesy salute to the sisters. In the visual imajim, which means to stand, we'll give a courtesy salute to the brothers. In the visual imajim Shabbat, imajim, Barak, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Barakatah. Means Yahweh in the name of Yahushai. Bless y'all. Yad Jamatah, which means hands down. We'll give a courtesy salute to the sisters. Sar, which means to turn. So turn and face the sisters. If you have any in your presence, we'll give them a courtesy salute. In the visual imajim Shabbat. Imajim, Barak, Yahweh Shamar, means Yahweh, watch over y'all in the name of Yahushai. Yad Jamatah, which means hands down. Class dismissed.